Quintana. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're really pleased to see you. We're happy to finally be able to get together as a group. I didn't hear Jack playing smiling eyes or anything like that, because that's all we can see now is happy eyes and smiling eyes, but that beats the heck out of where we've been the last several months, and I'm really glad that you're here. We have a special welcome for our special guest tonight, the members of the Canterbury Woods Residential Association. That's all of you. I hope you all enjoy a special dessert prepared by the top of the mark famous dessert chef. What did you think about those desserts? Beautiful job. That'd be nice. What a nice touch. Another group that I'd like to recognize as the Canterbury singers begin to make their way to the stage. I'd like to recognize our celebrity executive servers, and if we'll put their hands up in the back as we can give them a hand. Elvira, where's Elvira? She did what? She left before the dishes, huh? Abby, we all know Abby Trotter. Lily, smile. And Blanca Diaz, first Blanca, I saw her too. She left, did she leave before the dishes too? You're going to have to talk to those guys. Well, it's okay, because I see a lot of men that don't get out very much, so they can help us wash dishes. We have a special vaudeville style program of entertainment for you tonight, and it's going to feature some acts. Canterbury singers, you probably didn't even know we had those, but we do, and we have Canterbury players, Canterbury mimers, we have the Canterbury dancers. So we're going to have a really fun evening of a lot of activities, and I'd like to stop right now because we have the president of our Residents Association, Nancy Frost, and she's such a dynamite young lady. I'd really like her to take a couple of minutes to welcome us. Nancy?
Welcome, everybody. Hey, I can do this with a mask on. Welcome, everybody. My quick note. I want to welcome you to the top of the mark. I hope you recognize this out on the outside. This is the time that we finally get to say goodbye to a challenging year. Yay! Yeah. Your fellow neighbors here at Canterbury Woods have the music committee and the entertainment committee have drawn upon the talents and ideas and musicians and such to put together a really entertaining program for you tonight. I hope you're going to enjoy it. I'm sure you would. Let's see. And I want to thank them. These are my crib notes. If you know me well enough, I'm never without my crib notes. But I want to thank them. They have been working on putting together this program for you for a long time. Pulling in a lot of people, coaxing them to do things they may not have wanted to do, but they're going to have a great program for you. So there we go. So enjoy the rest of the evening and have a wonderful time.
As the Canterbury singers come out, I want to call your attention to the programs that are at your tables. I want to call some special attention to the program, the acts that are going to be with us tonight. I want to thank Donna and Jack for the interludes of music that were really, really kind of nice. Can you just put your hands together for them? Again, the list of acts, and take a few minutes and look at the acknowledgments right at the end, because a lot of people, as Nancy said, a lot of people have worked pretty hard to put this together. And if I don't mess it up, it'll be a fun evening for you guys, for us. So what I'd like to do, next up, we have the start of our beautiful program. Join me in welcoming to the top of the mark the Canterbury Singers. The next act we have, we're going to have a young lady that's going to come and talk to us and see if she can find something. She seems to have lost something. So Barry Dorsheimer, see if you can find something.
Resolutions, right? And my New Year's resolution is to get my life in order. I woke up this morning, decided to get things all cleaned up so I can start the new year fresh. I returned to my apartment from breakfast and decided to get the car washed and vacuumed. A nice clean car seems like a good way to start a new year. I got my car keys, headed for the door. That's when I noticed the box of Christmas decorations packed up and sitting by the door.
Tell me where she is.
I thought I better take that down to my locker in the catacombs. I picked it up, started to open the door, but then remembered that I needed to take the extra grout from the repair to my shower down to the locker as well. As I looked for the grout, I saw the pile of mail on the countertop. I might as well take care of that now, I thought. So I sorted the junk mail from the bills and went to toss the junk mail in the recycling bin when I noticed it was overflowing. I started to empty it, but I thought I would pay the bills first. Getting all the bills paid before the new year begins to bring good luck, doesn't it, I think? I got my checkbook. There was just one check left in it. I went to my desk to get more checks, and as I sat down, I realized I hadn't looked at my email yet today. I better check my email. As I opened my laptop, I noticed the cup of coffee on my desk that I was drinking yesterday. And I needed to pour that out and wash the cup. But wait, I needed to walk Tucker, definitely a priority. That's when I saw the plant on the counter needing watering. I put the cup down so I could get some water for the plant, and I saw my glasses. I was looking for them earlier, and I better take them back to my desk. But first, I must water the plant. I filled a cup with water and went to pour it on the plant when I saw the TV remote. I knew I would need it tonight, so I decided to take it back to the table by the sofa. But first, I must water the plant. As I splashed water on the plant, a little spills on the floor. So I put the remote down, got a rag, and wiped up the spill. As I turned around to pick up the remote, the phone rang. And it was someone asking if I was going to lunch, and I said, it's already 1 p.m. and I need to walk Tucker, so I will skip lunch. When we got back from our walk, it was already after 2, and my laundry time started an hour ago. So now I gathered up a load of laundry, carried it upstairs to the machine, making a mental note to set the timer when I got back to the apartment. I opened the apartment door and saw the pile that I needed to take to the locker. I started to pick it up when I realized that I still hadn't checked my email. So I went to the desk, powered up the computer, and looked for my glasses, which were not on my desk. I got up to look for my glasses. I just saw them, so they must be nearby. As I looked for them, I saw that the recycle bin was still overflowing. I picked it up to take out and thought I should take the trash too. I got the trash bin, but when I lifted the bag out, I saw there were no extra bags in the bottom of the bin. Well, maybe I can find the housekeeper still on duty and get some more bags from her. So I went out into the hall to look for the housekeeper when I remembered my laundry. I better go check on the laundry. I moved it to the dryer and made a mental note to set the timer when I got back to the apartment. When I got back, the phone was ringing, and do I want to go to dinner now? I grab a bottle of wine and meet up with friends for dinner. Now it's the end of the day. I don't understand why I didn't get anything done. I've been busy all day, but the car is still dirty, the bills are still unpaid, the recycle bin is overflowing, the pile by the door now includes a full bag of trash. There's no fresh bag in the bin, and why is there a cup of yesterday's coffee on the counter? I just want to put on my nice, clean jammies, watch some TV, and cuddle with Tucker. But I can't find them or the TV remote. And where are my glasses?
we can help her find her glasses, we hope. As we set up for the next act, which is a skit with Jack and Betty, well, I'd like to share a couple of thoughts with you. We get into these situations where we wonder about whether our kids are getting any education. And these were some of the results of a science test that were given to 8th graders. And I'll read you the questions and then share the answers with you. Name the 4 seasons. The answer, salt, pepper, mustard, and vinegar. The next question, how can you delay milk from turning sour? The answer, keep it in the cow. The next question was, what happened to the boy when he reaches puberty? He says goodbye to his boyhood and looks forward to his adultery. Then he got to the anatomy part and said, what was a fibula? He said, a small lie. What is varicose? What does varicose mean? And he answered, nearby, as in a loved one. And the last question I thought would be interesting for you is, what does the word benign mean? And the answer is, benign is what will be after you be 8. Well, after the silliness, let's get back to this beautiful skit we have with Jack and Betty. And the name of the skit is, There's a Hole in the Bucket.
There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza. Dear Liza, there's a hole in the bucket. A hole.
Then fix it, dear Henry, dear Henry. Use your head, dear Henry. Fix it.
With what shall I fix it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what shall I fix it? With what?
With a straw, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With a straw, dear Henry. With a straw.
But the straw is too short, dear Liza, dear Liza. But the straw is too long, dear Liza, dear Liza. The straw is too long, too long.
Then cut it, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then cut it, dear Henry. Cut it.
With what shall I cut it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what shall I cut it? With what?
With a knife, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With a knife, dear Henry, with a knife.
The knife is too dull, dear Liza, dear Liza. The knife is too dull.
Where are they?
Too dull.
Then sharpen it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Sharpen it, dear Henry.
But with what shall I sharpen it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what shall I sharpen it? With what?
With a stone, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With a stone, dear Henry. With a stone. There should be one in there.
The stone is too dry, dear Liza, dear Liza. The stone is too dry. Too dry.
Well, wet it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Wet it, dear Henry.
But what, with what shall I wet it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what shall I wet it? With what?
With water, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With water.
With what shall I fetch the water, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what shall I fetch the water? With what?
In a bucket. Dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry, use your head, Henry, in a bucket.
But there's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, a hole in the bucket. A hole.
Well, we want to make sure that Jack gets his bucket fixed. I'm not sure that they're helping each other much, but they'll get it done. As Donna makes her way to the stage, as we prepare for Beth, I want to share a couple of more thoughts with you. The kids from 4 to 8 have some really interesting views about love, and I thought I'd share a few of them with you. Yeah, come on, that's fine. Love is the stuff you feel before bad stuff gets in the way. When someone loves you, the way she says your name is different. You kind of know that your name is safe in her mouth. Love is when a girl puts on perfume and a boy puts on shaving cologne and they go out and smell each other. Love is like a little old woman and a little old man who are still friends after they get to really know each other. So after the silliness again, we have a fantastic young lady who's going to sing for us with the accompaniment of Donna. Please welcome Beth. That's one of my favorites. Thank you. Really, really well done. Our next skit is put on by the Canterbury Mimers, and it has a really interesting title called "Is It Time Yet?" And they will be set up in just a second, and as they are, it's worth the waiting for, because this is a good one.
Is it time yet?
No, it's not time yet.
Is it time yet?
No, it's not time yet.
time yet?
Yes, it's time now.
As you can tell, we have some really talented young men. Our next act for this evening has to do with two of our very talented young people that are going to put together a little skit, and it has to do with whether or not they can hold their alcohol. And so, please welcome Keith and Betty, and they're going to put together a little skit for you. As they're setting up, but I know that a lot of us struggle a lot with technology, and I ran across some of these that were shared with me by Blanca, and I thought I'd share them with you. Maybe you could kind of identify with them a little bit. Compact is considered changing the command, press any key, to press the return key. And they're doing that because there was a flood of calls asking where the any key was. Yes, now? Okay. How about this one? Another Dell customer called to say he couldn't get his computer to fax anything. After 40 minutes of troubleshooting, the technician discovered that the man was trying to fax a piece of paper by holding it in front of the monitor screen and hitting the send button. And it looks like we're ready, so the trivia has to wait for a little bit longer. So I'll turn it over to Keith.
Makes me proper. Well, Miss Betty, it's so nice to be with you tonight and celebrate the New Year's time together. I have some special beverages for us tonight. How about a little Irish whiskey to start with? Can you hear me? Can you say something? Yeah, okay. There you are, madame. Whoops, we're on the floor. It's okay. Folks, Happy New Year.
Same to you.
That's pretty good. So tell me, I know you've lived here in Monterey for a long, long time, and you've enjoyed all of the wonderful marine life here in Monterey Bay, and you've done a little collecting along the way, right? What are some of the most favorite things that you've collected over the years here in Monterey?
Well, I didn't collect them in person. However, I think one of the most interesting things was, before the aquarium was even open, somebody brought an injured otter to us, thinking, well, you're an aquarium, you know how to fix it. Well, we had never had any experience with that at all. So we got a child's swimming pool and filled it with seawater and put the otter in it. And the otter seemed quite happy. But have you ever heard an otter scream? Oh, it's deafening. Out in the water, that is the way mother otters find their babies, and the other way around. So I don't know how they tell the screams apart, but they do. Anyhow, that otter started up screaming and screaming and screaming. So we tried feeding it bits of fish, and he responded a bit. Anyhow, the day went like this, and at night we looked at one another and said, what do we do now? So we decided we'd take turns taking the otter home with us. Now this was a new experience. So when David and I were the first to take the otter home, and we set something up in the bathroom for the otter, and because it likes to do its business in water, but during the night there's not going to be any water. So anyhow, we fed it some food and went to bed hoping that this was it. And the otter started screaming and screaming and screaming. Anyhow, we went to check him, and there wasn't anything we could do. So we went back to bed. And the otter finally settled down, and we took him back to his plaything the next day, and then we let somebody else take care of him the next night. Yeah. Unfortunately, the otter died. Not while we had it, but when someone else took it over. The otter was too badly wounded, so we were very sorry. But it was quite an experience, I tell you.
I remember that you, I think you said something about you had a baby octopus.
Oh, yes.
What was that all about?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. What's he got there?
Okay. Yes. We collected this octopus in the tide pool, and it was a baby. I'd say it was about this round, and with a tentacle sticking out about this far. So we took it home and put it in our aquarium that we had all set up, and the octopus seemed happy. We had a conch shell for him to dart into, and we had fish swimming around. He could never catch this fish. I say he because we named him Oscar. Oscar used to climb up the side of the aquarium, and we would hold bits of food, and Oscar would reach for it, and with his tentacle, and put it in his mouth, which is underneath. And he seemed to enjoy that, so we gave him more. Anyhow, days went on. We had to feed him something else, so we fed him live crabs. And we put the crabs in the aquarium. And dumb us, we didn't think that they could crawl out. We came up the next morning, and there were some, oh, I need that.
That's the real stuff.
Oh gosh. And some of the crabs were missing. And so we started looking around the house, and in the kitchen, off the kitchen, I had a wet mop that was sitting on the floor, and the crabs had navigated to the wet mop. So we picked them up and put them back. Anyhow, we found them in different places under the bed. He came out from under the bed, and it was full of dust. That goes to show what my housekeeping was like. So, anyhow, we went on, and unfortunately, Oscar laid eggs on the side of the glass. This was about a year later. Oscar laid eggs, so we changed his name to Oscarina. But the eggs weren't fertile, so she did her job of cleaning them, keeping them clean, siphoning them with her little siphon hose, patting them. As they died, they would fall off, and she would pick them up and eat them. But otherwise, she ate nothing. She ate nothing else. Anyhow, when they were all gone, she died. We found out that this is the cycle. This size octopus, I was going to say otter, this size octopus doesn't live for much more than 1 year. Anyhow, that octopus was also something that brought my husband and I together, because before we were married, he had tags set up in his apartment, and I wanted to come. He said he had an octopus, and I said, an octopus? I'd like to see that. So he invited me over, and I got to look at his octopus. Yes, but anyhow, it's been 66 years, so I think that was a good sign.
So Miss Betty, I have just served you some of this very special tequila. That's the real McCoy. But I like my tequila in a tin cup. But I don't happen to have a tin cup right here. I've got to go up on the shelf through the door and get the tin cup.
Okay.
I'm going to bring it back and pour myself some tequila.
Okay.
And then I want you to tell me the story about looking for the crabs in your drawers.
As you notice in our program, we have to give Keith a few minutes to clean up. So we'll take a little break, a 15-minute break to stretch a little bit, get a little wine if you'd like, and come on back because we're only halfway through this really exciting rest of the evening.
here.
Donna?
Wait for the champagne. Oh, I thought it was for you. Wait for the champagne.
Lunch and Last year, no, I still had some, so I made this hand out more. It's got a pair of eyes. That my daughter-in-law, and she told to have I'm Nancy. I'm Nancy Ford. Oh, I know. And we thank you. They've only been married. Both had died only then. Just like, yeah, like a whatever. We'll every 5 we did.
Sorry about that.
We probably would have killed him. Of course, yes. Well, and I my first husband's name was Richard Burton. She's real. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I thought I saw maybe better no, I thought maybe I should take it. It's nice to meet you. Yes, I think it would be. And now so many people are really
We have about 4 minutes left in the break, and I have promised Ilka some dance music. So here is 4 minutes worth of dance music. Anyone who wants to join Ilka dancing, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Jack. I'm sorry that they moved you, partner, because I loved it when you lived above me and I could listen to you practice. That's phenomenal. Thank you very much. Well, we get to go to the kind of an exciting piece of the second half of the show. We're going to start with a lovely bunch of ladies. And they're called the Raincops. That sure takes me back to a lot of Saturday matinees and in the theater and watching those big funny musicals with all those guys singing and dancing in the rain. I always thought that was kind of silly to get all wet and dance, but we had a good time doing that. Just before we have our next group come in, I want to remind you that you've heard the champagne popping in the back, and in the next few minutes, we'll put them on the tables. So we want you to hold off on imbibing, please, until we get ready for our toast. So the champagne will be there, and if you don't behave, I'm going to have a couple of my henchmen over there sitting at the table. Those guys in the brown jackets over there. They're going to enforce. They're going to keep you from drinking. No, I'm teasing. The next group we have is another talented group. Katie, I didn't know you played the violin.
Well, I did when I was a child, and I'm just taking it up again. Yeah, and I think all three of us took it up later in life after having played in our younger years. Anyway, I'm really glad to see everybody here. I hope everybody's having a good time. I'll tell you, there were many, well, not many, but quite a few I can think of times when I was lonesome on New Year's Eve. But nobody's lonesome here. Everybody's together. And it's really nice to have a group. So I want to ask a question here. Help me here. Good. Yeah.
Having more fun back there.
Yeah, didn't used to have to wear glasses that way. No. Bart, who also took up clarinet again, and lives across the hall from me. And what about you, Jack?
No, not lonesome at all. Surrounded by lots of friends, enjoying a wonderful night, and about to play some music with a couple of new friends.
Great. Well, the name of the song is Are You Lonesome Tonight?
That was really exciting. Thank you. There's no way that I could try to do something Katie, that I did when I was a little girl. Wait a minute, I wouldn't dare try some of this stuff, and I really appreciate you and Barbara being able to play it and give us your time and share your talent with us. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
We should announce that the signs on for the valley on the table mean to lift them up, because I don't think they realize that they're there.
They are for you, yeah.
Yeah, but Tom should mention that.
That was the way she would tell him.
Well, Nancy's, well, we're not close to him.
We're going to have a really neat skit now from Jack and Lois. It's going to take us back. It's going to make us think. It's going to make us happy to remember where we are and what we're doing. And I think it's again, takes some courage to do what they're going to talk about doing. So, ladies and gentlemen, Jack and Lois.
love to hear you play as we sit by the fire. It's so nice. And from that old Beatles song, When I'm 64. However, we're a little beyond that now.
Yes, quite a ways beyond that. But how about this? When I'm much older and lost all my hair, many years from now, will you still be sending me a Valentine? Birthday greetings? Bottle of wine? If I stayed out to 2:45, would you lock the door? Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 94?
I'd be older too. I would stay with
Oh.
Is it time yet?
He's lost.
Doesn't that guy's doing, maybe we can find out a little bit. The next act will kind of take us all back, kind of keep us in tune, but I can remember doing this in a Sunday school class. There's another group of Canterbury mimers have a skit for us, and the title is Lost Surprise. I understand that the idea for the skit came from an old party game that most of us played somewhere in our childhood. One person would start a short story with a single sentence and whisper that sentence to a second person. The second person would add a sentence to the story and whisper the story now that's 2 sentences long to a third person. The process would continue until several persons were involved. Then they would stop and the last person would reveal how the story turned out. The Canterbury Mimers are going to present for you their version of that old party game. One of them has discovered a secret about the plans for our New Year's Eve celebration. A special surprise is being planned, but the plan has encountered some difficulties. She decides to pass her secret information about the second surprise, and the problems go on to a friend, and to get help to find out more and to try to help resolve the difficulties the plan has encountered. But they didn't want the audience to know what they're doing until they can give a full report about what's going on. Well, now, do we have a report? Are we going to find out what the real business?
Yes. We not only have a report, we have a transcript.
Wow.
Of everything we discovered about the last shipment and everything we said in our investigation. May I read the transcript?
Would you please?
We were supposed to have a big surprise for our celebration tonight, coming all the way from Murano. But it has been seriously delayed by the problem they are having of shipments coming from overseas not being able to get access to ports. Murano? Is it Murano, that island in Italy near Venice that is famous for making beautiful things out of glass? Crystal? Yeah. They make all kinds of crystal stuff and things like that. But not to worry. The shipment has landed and cleared customs, and it's now on its way here. But they sent it to St. Louis instead of San Francisco. But still no worries. They have found it. It is now in Denver.
and it has been assigned to a special personal messenger, and it's being carefully tracked as the special messenger brings it to San Francisco. We should receive the special shipment any moment. But the last tracking report says the personal messenger has arrived in San Francisco, but he can't find the top of the mark. Can't find the top of the mark.
Well, at least we know that it's on its way. That it's on its way. Excuse me, sir. Can I help you?
Yes, I'm a messenger that I've come to find the crystal globe, and that has come all the way from Toronto. It's come to San Francisco, and I simply can't find it, and I can't find the top of the mark. Is this the top of the mark?
Yes, yes.
Okay, well, we'll get that done. Now, where is the golden clothes?
Well, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, this is really important. Stagehands, we need you to come on stage. We have to get some work done here. We have the ball, but we have to get it ready so we can get it to go up or down or whatever.
Yes.
And there should be some stagehands here that should help us. There are stagehands that can help us.
Well,
Stagehands around us to help us. Well, we're still trying to find some stagehands that can, that can help us.
can you give me any help in finding the golden clothes?
Well, I can because it's right here on your back, sir. It's right here on your back. Let me see if I can get it off.
Okay.
There we go. I understand, kind of like putting on a face mask with a hearing aid, right? Stagehands here to help us get it hooked up. Okay, coming up. Okay. Where are the stagehands? Where are those guys? You? Right. Right. Yeah, yeah. I don't see anybody coming. So while the car calls who are we waiting for? John and Michael. John and Martha are ready for the next act. While we're waiting for the stagehands, we're still kind of at a little loss for what we're trying to get done here. But we want to get back to our program, and we have a skit coming up with John and Martha, and it's a skit called Stand-Up Comedy. And while we're setting up, we'll keep looking for these stagehands and see if we can't get them up here to get the ball set up. while we're trying to get them set up, I could share the conversation I had with our chaplain, and she was talking about the devil being in church. And she said one Sunday morning, everybody was bright and early. They came to the church. They got up early and went to church. Before the service started, the townspeople were sitting in their pews and talking about their lives and their families and etc. Suddenly, Satan appeared in front of the church. Everyone started screaming and running for the first exit, trampling each other in a frantic effort to get away from the evil incarnate. Soon everybody had evacuated the church, except for one elderly gentleman who sat calmly in his pew, not moving, seemingly oblivious to the fact that God's ultimate enemy was in his presence. Now this confused Satan a bit, so he walked up to the man and said, "Don't you know who I am?" The man replied, "Yep, I sure do." Satan asked, "Aren't you afraid of me?" "No, I'm sure ain't," said the man. Satan was a little perturbed at this and queried, "Why aren't you afraid of me?" And the man calmly replied, "I've been married to your sister for 48 years. John, take the floor, partner.
Hello to all, and best wishes from the wide world of comedy. I'd like to introduce Martha, my lifetime jokester partner, in our epic struggle to get people to laugh at something, especially with planet Earth doomed for destruction within the next decade. Although we've been known for many years as stand-up comedians, I should mention that we've quite recently been awarded the status of comedians emeritus, an honor, as Martha puts it, that allows us to sit comfortably on our tushes while delivering such patented thigh slappers as, "Did you hear that joke, Aunt Mallard?" To briefly cite our comedic qualifications throughout the Bay Area, and hopefully soon at Canterbury, it would probably be sufficient to quote from an ersatz first night Monterey review, which lauded our New Year's Eve performance as exemplary of the passively well-crafted efforts of two modestly risible pro bono joke tellers. I hope that the buffalo reputation that has accompanied us so far will continue and perhaps even grow this evening. And if some of you in the audience would like to smile a bit from time to time, or as they say, put your two hands together, this would really be appreciated. Okay, here we go. Starting with one of our favorite lawyer jokes. What's the main problem when you have a dozen lawyers buried up to their necks in sand? Not enough sand. How about 6 lawyers finish up their work for the day and go out for some drinks? 5 of them walk into a bar, but one of them ducks. If this was a bit puzzling, I would suggest thinking whether the word bar has more than one meaning. Now, leaving the lawyers at this point, let's try another species. Why did the chicken cross the road? Ideas? Here's the answer. For some foul reason. Oh, talk to us after the show if you think you have a better answer than that. Okay, that's 3 in a row of our newly trademarked and copyrighted sedentary stand-up comedy jokes, or SSCIs for short. And to maintain our unsurpassed jokes per minute speed delivery record, including the punchline, we'll race ahead to our final joke this evening, which, as you might have anticipated, is on parts of the body. In view of the age and general disposition of tonight's audience regarding matters of this nature, we hasten to reassure everyone that the strict cultural codes followed in the production review and final release of Mickey and Minnie Mouse short features have been scrupulously adhered to as well. So here it goes. Imagine that we've just entered an ESL, English as a Second Language classroom, to listen to a name the body part test administered by a qualified examiner in connection with the graduation requirements for recently arrived Hispanic grade school students who will soon be working on their PhDs in molecular biology or astrophysics at Harvard and MIT. I'll play the role of the examiner, and Martha will be the studious and comely Maria. Hello, Maria, and welcome to the parts of the body test that you and the other students have been studying so hard for. I'll point to a part of my body, and you will say what it's called in English. There will be 20 questions altogether. Are you ready?
Yes.
You mean, how about something like most certainly? That would sound even more English-like.
Most certainly, yes.
So here we go. What is this?
Elbow.
What is this?
Knee.
What is this?
Shoulder.
Say it as though you meant it.
Shoulder.
And on until, gee whiz, Maria, what a job you did. That's an absolutely perfect score. How did you manage to learn so many English words so quickly and correctly?
Lungs.
And now, dear audience, thank you so much for listening and for contributing your gestures and guffaws to our all too short opportunity to be with you this evening. May we collectively wish that the new year that will soon be upon us be one of joy and abundant promise as we go forward, making up, listening to, and enjoying all sorts of funny stuff together. Thanks, God bless.
Thank you very much, John and Martha.
A few lines, you see, using my lungs. Oh. She said it's in my lungs.
Trying to squeeze it around so we can get some Canterbury time going there. Our next act is an act called Oh Swami.
Good evening. Good evening. Yay. I'm the assistant of old Swami of Canterbury. We have come here tonight to have you enter into the new year, and you can see the time is ticking away. We have the Swami here who is going to be helping us with our energy in our minds. Before the show started, I asked a couple of the residents if they would give me names of famous people, dead or alive. In my basket, I have some of the names that they gave me. We are going to use our energy as a unit here in this wonderful place. Thank you, Judy. And we are going to have mental telepathy for the Swami of Canterbury.
ask someone to pick a name out of the basket. Back as you read. Before I open the name up, I want to make sure that it is absolutely quiet in this space. I want you all to direct your energy up to the Swami. Quiet, quiet. You need to be quiet. I want you to shut your eyes and direct your energy up to the Swami. Think of this person. Think of this person so she can get the energy. Swami of Canterbury. Bring your energy to this audience.
I see something on. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm looking into my crystal ball, and I see a man. It's a man, and he's sitting in a chair here in this room. How could that be? Let me look again. Oh, I see him now. It's Albert Einstein.
Thank you, old Swami from Canterbury. We have identified Albert over in the corner. Let's see if we can do this again. Marcia, you look like you need to pull out a name. Now remember, it has to be quiet. Okay. All right. Can everybody see this name? Don't talk. Again, direct your mind to see how the vibes are moving in this particular room on the last day of the year. So, Swami of Canterbury, rise, rise.
Aha! I see in the crystal ball a beautiful castle. And then coming out the gates of the castle is a carriage. And in the carriage is an older woman dressed in pink, with a pink hat, with a feather in it. And she's waving. It's Queen Elizabeth. Woo-hoo!
All right, we have enough energy to do one more name, and I think Jack needs to pull this out of my basket. Thank you, Jack. Now this is going to be an interesting one for the Swami. I said a famous person, living or dead. Living or dead. Oh, Swami, quiet. We need to have absolute quiet for this one. This is a very difficult one. Empty your mind, Swami of Canterbury. Empty your mind.
I see in the crystal ball yet another castle with a bridge. And coming across the bridge is a little figure. Who is that? He has huge ears. For heaven's sake, it's Mickey Mouse. Thank you, audience, very much.
Now that Swami has regaled us with her feat of mental dexterity, how about that's a good word? That one is read to us. But we're in really good shape. We're at the point now where we're trying to make sure we're at Canterbury time at 12 o'clock. So we're trying to get this ball in shape and trying to they're working diligently on it. And as soon as they are, we'll be back and we'll do this. And in the meantime, you notice that the champagne has been put on your table. We ask that you hold on to them until we do our toast. I just put it in at the end. And so don't drink it all before we have a chance to toast, please. So hold on to the champagne, and we'll have our toast just as soon as we can get the ball raised. We want to recognize and pay specific acknowledgement to some really special people. We'd like to do that quickly. Then we will toast. We'll have our toast, and we'll have all the verses of Old Lang Syne, which are on the back of your program. If you look at the back of your program, all the verses are there. But I would like to draw your attention to the program. It does have some acknowledgments. It does have some acknowledgments. Does that tell us? Well, I don't know. Who's your hearing aid up, honey? Okay. Does that help? Then I'll get in trouble if I do that. That's better? Okay. Don't tell on me. Okay, but basically, we want to make sure that we're ready for the toast, which we are, but I would like to acknowledge some special folks. Elvira, Lily, Abby, Alec, Alka, Blanca, and Sharon, who have been serving us all evening. So put your hands together for those folks. And the maintenance crew were really helping us set things up and bringing big ladders in and things like that. And I just want to thank him. So when next time you see Vincent, thank him for his help with this activity. Jovelyn helped us with logistics and with setup. I want a special thank you to Donna DiVincenzi for piano interludes tonight. Really thank you very much. And if you again, kind of check your program, but the singers and all the acts that we went through, the Canterbury singers, the Canterbury dancers, Mary Dorsheimer, Betty Powell, David, Roger, Doug, Tim, and Fred. That story, that beautiful, beautiful rendition, beautiful voice. Thanks, Beth. You did one of my favorites. The Raindrops were fantastic. Katie, Barbara, nice job. The Lost Surprise Girls, Rochelle and Margaret and Jane. John and Martha, thank you very much. Judy and Leslie, thank you very, very much for all the work that you did. Special appreciation. Special appreciation to Judy and Leslie, all the setup, all the decorations. They just really, really have done a fantastic job. Thank you guys. I want to especially thank Keith. He's really, really worked at the logistics and the sound and with his ideas and his skits. He's just really done a nice job. Thank you. Lois, without you, this doesn't happen. All the secretarial duplicating, printing, organizing, fantastic. Thank you very, very much. I can't put into words how much I respect you and this. Excuse me, I said jerk. Jack is just a great job. And with his vision and his talent, he was able to put it together. As you can tell, I do have a tendency to get a little emotional. The kids that I coach football for say, "It's okay, coach, you can do that." So I figure I can do it there, I can do it here. So I need something to toast with, Billy.
Yeah, one more.
Last but not least, I'd like to thank our host, Tom Hoy.
Thank you. It's fun for me. I want you to toast with me. Okay, everybody got it? Everybody got a toast?
Just a second. Just a second. Just a second.
Okay. Let's raise our glasses to the possibility, to the positive of 2021. New friends, open dining room, and caregivers that really do care. And looking forward to 2022 as we continue to care for each other and to reach out and support each other. Ladies and gentlemen, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. You too. And as Jack gets us ready to sing, I want to make sure that I remind you, please be patient as the ballets bring your buggies to you. They've done a nice job, but please be patient with us. Thank you very much. Jack is going to
start, so she's.
See you, 11.